G'day, have I got a story for you? Check the disclaimer. Season 1, Episode 72, Directives. This episode is narrated by Laura Reily Truth as Nuala.
I am confused. What just happened? What was I just doing? Where am I? I walk from room to room. I see the back of a man. Why is he shoveling that mess onto that cupboard? Every room I go in, they're all just wrong. Am I really expected to clean up this mess? Who is responsible for doing this? Is this real? I touch a bit of the mess. Yes, it's real.
I am not sure how to deal with all this. This will take a long time to clean. Oh, my head. Why can't I think straight? Where are the things that I need to do?
There's not one skerrick of clothing to wash, not one plate or dish, no food to cook. Just this mess everywhere. Mess in this room, mess in this room, more mess in this room, more mess here and here. Ugh! I hate mess.
What am I doing? Why am I hitting and kicking everything? Why am I throwing things?
I like hearing things broke.
No, I don't. What is happening? Where am I? I woke up that man making all that noise.
Good. Does he do anything besides sleep? He should be awake. Why is he watching me? He shouldn't be watching me. I hate it when he watches me. He should be asleep.
Oh my goodness. What is happening to me? I am so sad.
But so angry. I like yelling.
No, I don't.
Of course I do.
What is happening to me? What am I thinking? I should just stop thinking. I sit down on a very uncomfortable chair.
Where am I?
This just doesn't seem right. What should I do now? I don't know what to do. I blink. I close my eyes. But when I open them again, I am somewhere else. How did that happen? The uncomfortable chair I am on is leaning back and someone is pulling me upright. Have I seen this man before? His face. His hands. Is he a man? Is he a human? He says one word. Come. I stand up. I feel a bit dizzy, but I follow him anyway. What was in that room we just left? Chairs and things? I've never seen a room like that before. Or have I? We walk down a corridor with many doors each side, but he doesn't open any of them. He keeps walking to the end and then stops and stands still, looking out the window. I stand next to him. What am I looking at? Are we in a big factory or something? That's what it looks like. We're on the 3rd or 4th floor up. I'm not sure. Suddenly, 2 metal doors slide apart on our right.
He walks to the door and says,
Come.
"Is that all this person can say?" I follow him again. I don't really know why. I guess I'm just used to following directives. Am I really? We step in and keep walking. The air. I have felt this before. I blink. Oh, it happened again. I closed my eyes, but now that they're open, I am somewhere else. Again, how is this happening? It defies logic. It can't be happening. If it's not happening, then what is going on? I'm swapping from here to there. I can't be, but I am. This can't happen, but it is. I feel my body begin to slow down. My eyes close, and I'm finding it difficult to move. Oh, no. I've got to think about something else. I open my eyes and follow the man again. And now I'm in a small room. Or maybe a large cupboard. I blink. I think, oh, no, did I pass out this time? How did I get into this fish tank thing? Why are all these things poking into me? I shouldn't move. I don't move. This defies logic. It can't be happening. If it's not happening, then what is going on? I went from that round dirt room to that house that was wrong, to that room that was did it really exist? Into an elevator, then blink, another elevator to this tiny room. Or maybe it's a large cupboard, and now I'm in this odd thing. I feel my body slowing down again. I can't be, but I am. No. This can't happen again. But it is. I'm stuck. My eyes are closed again. I can't move. Maybe I shouldn't move. I heard someone tell me to keep still,
So maybe that's what I'm doing. No. I'm stuck. I can't even move my little finger. This has happened before, but I usually can't think properly when this happens. What is happening to me? I feel better and better. Clearer thoughts. Clarity. That pain in my head, it's gone. I lay here concentrating on different parts of my head that have always ached, and suddenly feel them one by one not ache anymore. Another and another. I wait patiently. That's odd. I don't think I've ever been patient before. I continue waiting, knowing that this is somehow good, even though it's painful at times. I feel so much better. Amazingly clear thoughts, more clarity. Those aches all around my head, inside my head, gone. I can think better, faster, easier, and I remember things. Some terrible things. Suddenly what is happening to me? These needle things are being removed. This machine, I remember it, I think. It's so nice to be able to think. I hear someone, a woman's voice.
You need to turn your back while I get her out.
Oh, she's speaking to someone else, the man who brought me here. The end of this fish tank, this machine, it opens, as I knew it would. I slide down the feet end and carefully step out. I am covered in bluish gel. The woman puts a robe around me and then says to the man,
You can look now.
Then she asks me,
How do you feel?
Absolutely amazing, I answer. What happened to me? The woman shows me a lot of little things in her hand and says,
We took these out of you. They were experimental. They used you as an experiment. I'm sorry. You should be able to think clearer now. Can you?
Yes, it's amazing, I answer, as she places all those little things into my hand. I look at them as we both turn our backs, and I assume the man is getting into the fish tank, the medical machine, the MM. I remember. It's a machine that repairs physical injuries. Did it heal my brain? I ask. What did they do to my brain?
Your brain,
She says.
in fact your whole body, should be repaired. I have helped others like you, and I need you to know that even though you are physically in excellent condition, your mind, what they've done to you, sometimes can take a little while to heal.
She continues.
Some of the others still had things happen to them. They would slow down and freeze sometimes. This is not a physical issue or injury or malfunction, although it does affect the body. This is a psychological issue, and we are still trying to ascertain how to heal it completely. The best thing you can do is develop friendships, personal relationships, and make sure you have a goal, something to live for.
She turns around and busies herself with the man, who is now in the I ask her, are you aware that many of this man's unusual features are not from physical injuries or physical alterations, and therefore probably won't be compatible with the without a massive reprogramming of the internal application? How did I know that? And if that is correct, how did this happen to him?
Yes,
She answers.
this is our first test of the massive reprogramming, as you called it. What I want to know is, how do you know all that?
I'm not sure, I hear myself answer. I just know.
Your source.
She hesitates, but then continues.
Your source knew all the intricacies of these MMs. She was the one who perfected the programming, not Mangler, although he took all the credit. He didn't her because he needs her, in case any MMs need maintenance. He has no idea how to fix them.
My source? I ask. Did they make copies of me? Suddenly I realize what I am. Did they make copies of her, and I am one of those copies? I'm hoping that she says no. I'm hoping that I am the source. But I suspect that I'm not. What have they done? Who am I? What am I?
You have just been in the MM.
She says.
Whatever you were, you're not anymore. The MM repaired you.
I take a minute, then ask her, do I know you? I mean, did my source know you? Are we friends? Are you Delilah, my assistant? She is just staring at me. Maybe I have it all wrong. Maybe it's just wishful thinking. What is she doing? Oh, she's hugging me, saying that she knew I was in there. In where? Does she mean my source? In me. Maybe she was her friend. Maybe she was her assistant.
Oh, I knew you'd be in there somewhere.
She says, smiling, then pauses to look directly at my face.
She's my best friend. I was her assistant, but she was the brilliant one.
I see tears forming in her eyes.
She is also my sister.
Now it's my turn to hug her. I have never hugged anyone before. The hug she gave me was my first hug, and this is my second. The MM may have repaired this body, but this closeness, is this closeness repairing something else? I suddenly remember sitting with her when she was a baby,
showing her how to hold her own bottle. Then, as a toddler, helping her walk. As a small child, having conversations with her. Until our mother made me stop, saying that it's not normal for a child her age to have such a fancy vocabulary. I hear myself asking Delilah questions. Delilah, I remember her name. How do I suddenly know so much about the MM? I have a look at it and see that she just adjusted almost everything that I would. Just a few more tweaks and it should be okay. I see. We are only concentrating on repairing this man's brain, which seems to have been physically reduced in size. What happened to him to make him like this? Suddenly I know that he actually chose this and worked hard to achieve this status. But he had no idea it would reduce his capacity to think, to reason, and to understand. His physical aesthetics can be addressed at a later date if he desires, but for the time being, outwardly, he needs to remain as he is. How do I know all that? Does my source know that? Is that how I know? How does that work? As I look at his face, I remember hearing people discussing this sort of thing, and the way they achieved this. I wouldn't exactly call it science. I look at his hands and feet, which are not easy to see around the blue gel. I remember this man, what he looked like before this changed him. He may have been big, almost 7 foot tall, but he wasn't as dumb as they thought he was. They were of the opinion that unless people were what they perceived as average size, that they had diminished intellect. They also thought the same thing for females, diminished intellects. They still do. He chose this to gain their respect, the respect he saw them give to others who were like this. He didn't realize that it was all an act to make people agree to do it. He was my friend. I remember his original name, Bartholomew. They even changed his name and programmed him to be proud of the new name. My mind. I remember so many things. My source, they refused to believe how brilliant she was, even though she proved it again and again. They let her interact with the people they traded with to buy the MMs. Those people valued the idea of all people working together, no matter what size, shape, or gender. She. My source became the person with whom they communicated. The scientists allowed her to continue her work while they were around, but the second they left, the only thing they let her do was reprogram the MMs until they were all working perfectly. Then the experiments on her began. Copies. I am one of those copies. The man. I bend down to get a better look at his feet. There's so much gel, most of it unnecessary for this particular procedure. I wonder how he can walk with those feet inside shoes. No wonder his shoes are so big. I hope this MM can help him. Will it get rid of all those directives and code words? Did it get rid of mine? That's why we are not repaired in an MM, in case it repairs us too much for their liking. Delilah and I turn our backs as he gets out of the MM. We turn around to face him. Delilah asks him,
How do you feel?
The man talks, and I mean a lot, as though he's making up for being mostly silent for the last few years.
He seems to be much better. We both do. I know this particular MM model. It's better than all the others. However, only Delilah and I have been aware of this over the past few years. Oh, I mean my source has. It repairs quicker and far more accurately than the other models, but can't be programmed to leave behind the bits of tech the scientists implant, except the large tracking devices. I open my hand to look at what it took out of me. What did all that do to me? I'm relieved that it's out. I hear myself say, for a minute, I forgot that I'm only a copy, a pale shadow of a real person. I shouldn't even exist.
Well, you exist now, so you should live your life to the fullest.
Delilah says.
Continue your work, make a difference. Make the world a better place to live.
It's not my work. It's hers, I say.
She can't continue the work,
Delilah says.
but you could.
You have your whole life ahead of you.
Bartholomew points out.
You can do whatever you choose, and you can be whomever you choose.
I look up at him. He is so tall. Thank you, Bartholomew, I say. As I leave with Delilah to go to the elevator nearby, I hear him say,
I wish you well. Make a difference, Nuala.
I will, I say, and let him know. My name is not Nuala.
Thank you so much for joining us with a cuppa. We appreciate your company.